Welcome, Channel Surfers. This is Remote Reality, and today we are going to be talking about Love is Blind, Season 9, Denver, Episode 9, The Ghost of Pod's Past. I can't wait to see what happens when Patrick and Anna come in. I can't wait to see what Kacie has to say for herself. This is going to be a good episode.
Looking forward to it.
Plus, what's going to happen when Annie meets Brennan?
Ooh,
How will Nick deal with Kait?
that would be an interesting one. How's Annie going to deal with Kait?
How are they going to deal with each other? I always love the episode where they bring the singles back. Before we get started, I just want to thank the Channel Surfers for listening. We love your comments. And if you have any hot takes, tell us about it. Come over to the Facebook group, comment on TikTok, comment on YouTube. We're always looking at everything you write. I either like or respond to everything that people post. And just last episode, we shared a hot take from one of the Channel Surfers on TikTok. Mm-hmm. Oh, hey there. So let us know what you're thinking, and we might share it on the podcast. I'd love to start doing that and letting everybody what the Channel Surfers are thinking. Let them know. But with that, let's go ahead and jump in. Love is Blind, Season 9, Denver, Episode 9, The Ghost of Pod's Past. Let's watch.
Remote reality, yeah, that's the key. Unlocking stories wild and free. With the host, side by side. Channel Surfers, let's ride.
Dee, do you remember the last episode where we got really hungry and had to eat a snack while we were recording because everybody was cooking amazing, delicious food?
Yes, absolutely.
I miss those days.
I do too. Now I just want to puke. Ugh.
Was Jordan joking is the question of the day, because Dee is like,
He's got to be joking.
which I felt the same way, but the dude drank the whole thing and then told you it was 55 grams of protein and 350 calories. Like, he knew that. He already had the calories and the protein counted out. Dee, let's explain what happened.
When he threw that chicken into the
baked
blender,
chicken breast.
I was like, what is he doing? They said smoothies, right?
What was he doing? Explain this recipe.
And then there was what? Crystal Light, like a packet of Crystal Light, and then some
Lemonade,
water.
Crystal Light, and
Yeah,
water.
and then some water. And then he blends it up, and he gives her a little bit to drink. And she can't drink it. She's spitting it out. That's gross. That's gross. And then he's just sitting there drinking it. He's got the chicken mustache going on. It's
Chicken mustache should not even go together. I thought he was kidding too, especially at first when she was like, oh my gosh, this is gross. And he leans over the sink. I thought he was getting sick, but I think he was just laughing, because then he just goes and chugs the rest of it and starts telling you what the nutrition facts are. That was wild.
Yeah, I'm with her. Just fix 6 eggs. Just make
And he
6
says
eggs.
it's faster to bake a chicken breast and then blend it. No, it's faster to cook 6 eggs than to bake a chicken breast.
Oh yeah. I'm all for hands up, 6 eggs, some bacon. Let's do a traditional breakfast. Let's not do no chicken lemonade smoothies.
He said it smells like chicken. I bet it tastes like chicken. Why put the Crystal Light in it? That
can't.
texture.
I can't.
Could you watch somebody do it?
No, probably not, because I am a sympathetic puker for sure.
I mean, all Megan has to do is watch it every day for the next 60, 70,
50,
80
60
years.
years.
Who knows? So I saw a clip on social media where Nick is addressing the conversation he had with Annie in the pods about gay and that being a fad. And one good thing he did here was he was receptive. People reached out to him. They told him why they disagreed, and he was receptive to that. And he acknowledges that he needs to grow. And if he can't use his platform for other people to see this opportunity for growth, it would be wasted. What I don't like is it's like he tries to excuse it by saying he grew up with princes and princesses and princes, and that is what he knew. So that's how he was socialized. But if we go back to the conversation about it being a fad, it's like they were saying, don't socialize your kid to be LGBTQ. So that part was a little confusing. I mean, first of all, I don't think it's something that's socialized. You either are attracted to one person or you aren't.
Right.
It's not a fad. It's not a choice. It is what it is. It just seemed contradictory to me that he's saying I was socialized this way, but then what he was saying in the pods was we shouldn't socialize our kids the other way. Even though in this comment he says there's nothing wrong with being gay. Maybe he was saying I feel this way because I was socialized this way and I should recognize that there's nothing wrong with it. I do like that he was making an effort though.
Mm-hmm.
People have different views and I definitely don't agree with everyone's views, but you're not going to get anywhere beating someone up over their views. You have to show people your perspective. Sometimes you have to show them the right way and you have to be open to that. If everybody jumps on him and hates him, then he may not be open to it. Although he does say he's been getting a lot of hate online and the editor said to let people know this was edited in a way to agitate people. That's the word he used, agitate.
That's sad.
So something that we talk about on Remote Reality a lot, the edit. But also I think it's important that even if it's an opinion we don't agree on, listen to the other person's side and respectfully tell them your side. You might teach them a perspective that they never considered. Just like our channel surfers do. I mean, even with this show, even saying that maybe Madison was in a way influencing Annie to kind of start a tiff with Nick because Madison said, I'm glad early on Joe and I are getting into it. Now we know how to conflict resolution, and Annie may have sat there and thought, oh, well, let's start a fight so we see how we resolve it. Something we never thought about, but just being open to others' opinions and sharing and talking, it's important.
Absolutely.
So I was glad that he is taking accountability for what he said and looking at another perspective and seriously showing that he recognizes he needs to grow. I thought that was great. We can all grow. We all have room to grow, except D. D's perfect. D's about to smack that dog.
I'm sorry. He's so distracting.
D's dog. So you guys probably hear it during the episodes. This is Harley. He's the older doggy and he's got a lot to say too. He wants to be on the podcast and we apologize for the dog barks. We've tried all kinds of different stuff. We had this high pitched beep going one day and we could hear it. So we turned it off. But then my neighborhood chat on the Facebook group, they're like, we're hearing this high-pitched beep and it's coming from, and the location was around my house. And I said, I'm so sorry. We put it on for 5 minutes. We could hear it. Only dogs were supposed to hear it, but D and I are bitches. So that's probably why we heard it too. Mm-hmm. And they were laughing. They were like, no, it's something that constantly goes off. And then Rob's commenting and he's like, well, maybe it's my wife's insulin pump. I'm like, no, that's pretty frequent too, but I am not the source of the beeping. It's probably a transmitter. Anyway, back to Love is Blind. We get a little peek into what the couples are up to. Anton and Allie, pizza and champagne. Any thoughts?
That's my kind of dining.
I don't think it's Allie's.
Oh, the champagne?
Or the pizza. She says, we have pizza every night.
Oh, I missed that part.
Mimosas and then champagne. But she got a Whole Foods pizza, probably thinking it's healthier.
Uh-huh.
I think they have 3 different cuisines. Nick is helping Annie get nailed in the shop. Yeah. She's in her beauty salon.
Yeah, he's doing some construction work in there. He's got his little tool belt on, and his baseball hat is backwards. I noticed that. I don't think he knows any more about what he's doing than she does, honestly.
He's like, do I stick it on there with adhesive? I don't think so. I think you would use the nail, probably a nail gun, and then you would caulk over top of the hole and then paint the trim. But I don't know either. That's just my best guess.
Lauren, you probably would put that shelf up better than him.
Probably.
Yeah.
Although I wouldn't read the directions, so who knows what we'd end up with. Next up is Edmund and KB. He got her some rollerblades, and that lady has never put on a pair of rollerblades in her life.
Well, I have to say, I grew up in the era of roller skating at the skating rink,
Yes.
and I have tried
Same.
rollerblades with my kids, and I do not have the ankles for those things. Give me the old school skates with the 4 wheels under me at every corner, and I am much better.
I don't know why, but I bust my butt on skates, and I've always been a blader. I used to rollerblade all over the place when I was growing up. I actually had this huge, like, gnarly scar. Okay, not huge, like, but kind of small. But I was going down a hill and couldn't stop myself in the neighborhood, and there was new construction at the end of the road, at the end of the hill, and I flew up over the curb and landed in the gravel. And for years, I had a scar on my stomach from that, but it's been gone for a while. Just magically disappeared after, I guess, 20 years or so. Yeah, she looked like she was about to need to be rescued after. He's like, I got you these, and now I'll have to rescue you when you break your leg.
Yeah, and that was just the living room.
And that was just the living room holding on to him. Madison and Joe are riding these like little bicycle go-karts. She wanted to go really fast, and then they took a turn. I was afraid they were about to fall off of that. They looked like they were having fun, though.
Yeah, I wouldn't be doing that. That's too
Well-
much work. That's too much work for me.
To be fair, this is Colorado. So imagine a nice fall or winter day where the weather is perfect out here. I could do it then. But if we're talking today when it's in the 80s and humid, no.
Yeah, I'm just not a fan of biking anywhere. So if I've got a pedal, forget it. Now, if
And then
somebody wanted to,
finally-
what's the carts where you can ride in the back and the person's on the bicycle in the front? I could do that.
I have no idea what you're talking. A moped?
No, it's different places I've seen. It's like there's like a 2-seater behind them, and then the person is like, it looks like a 3-wheeler or something. So there's 2 people like sitting, or one person. I think maybe they might be more in like, I don't know. But they're like
An
drive.
electric bike.
Yeah, I could do that, or a moped.
Last but not least, we've got Megan and Jordan, and they're house hunting.
Ooh,
What'd you think of the house?
it's gorgeous. I love the house.
I do too. It's a very modern design, as a Sputnik chandelier, which I actually put one of those in my dining room. I like those Sputnik chandeliers. Very modern, white walls, black trim. It's about 5,500 square feet. It's gigantic, and about $2 million.
The sticker price.
Now, Megan says when she sells her house in LA, she expects to have $1.5 million that she could put down. Maybe they could go in together for a loan for $500,000. Megan, let's talk about reality. That's a big house loan.
It is.
Even half of that is a big house loan.
Yeah. And I remember in the pods, you know, he said that he drives a Kia, and you know, he made a reference that one of these bedrooms was the size of his apartment that he's in now.
And a bigger house means more stuff to fill it up with, and more house to clean, more work to do, more dusting, more property taxes, more insurance. His priority is his son, who has a very expensive condition to treat.
Right.
I've said this before, but being type 1 diabetic, the cost of it is more than my mortgage payment has been before. Okay, if it were me, because that is a lot of house, they don't need that much house. I would buy something for cash.
Yeah. With that kind
Because-
of payout on the house in LA, absolutely.
Buy for cash. Don't have a mortgage payment. If you don't spend all the money, invest the rest. Why strap yourself down in debt when you don't need it? You don't
Exactly.
need it.
They don't need 6 bedrooms with all of their own bathrooms and a basement
They don't.
and 5,500 square feet. That's a lot.
That's a lot. That's a lot.
Mm-hmm.
I have 4 bedrooms and a separate office in my house. My house, it's about 3,000 square feet, and did not cost that much, although it's a different location. But also, the bigger the house, the more expensive it's going to be. And I didn't even want this much house. This was a very similar thing, I think, than what Jordan and Megan are talking about was my husband and I, needs versus wants. I was perfectly happy with my 1,400 square foot house. We moved here 3 years ago. I still give him hell about it every once in a while. Like, this is not what I wanted. I love her closet. That was one thing that I did like about my house is it has a very similar closet to that with built-ins. But
maybe they're treating the episode like house hunters, and by the time we get to the third one, we'll find the one that they both love. Like they're just overplaying it right now. Yeah, they're just overplaying it right now for the show, and we'll get to house number 3.
Like Jordan saying he drives older cars. That's me all day. Like I do not spend a bunch of money on cars. And I always thought it was because we work with debtors, but it could also be that I know I've got to make sure I have enough money to live. I don't know where medical costs go. I don't know what my insurance will cost the next year. I have to have it. I don't know what it will cover the next year. So my diabetes definitely could play a role in that I never considered. But seeing this, and I feel like I've experienced this, my husband having a different view about needs and wants, and I get where Jordan's coming from. But it can work. It can work. You both just have to give a little. I don't know Megan's financial situation. I don't like the idea of borrowing money if you don't have to.
Right. I think that even borrowing the 500 was too much for him.
I agree. That would be too much for me. I wouldn't want to.
Yeah, and he said he doesn't want to feel like a mooch or anything like that. So I get where he's concerned. I can see why he's concerned.
But he's not intimidated by her success, and he doesn't want to say no because she has worked hard for this and she wants that. I think that distinguishes the other guys she's talked about dating before who are intimidated by her success.
Exactly.
Nick's family comes over to the apartment to meet Annie, and they just love her. His mom is also a hairdresser, and his mom also kind of looks like Annie. And as I'm sitting there looking at his mom and Annie and how much they look like and how much Nick looks like his mom, Nick and Annie look like siblings.
I didn't think they look like siblings.
No, they look like they could be twins. And then the dad's like, oh, she'll fit so well in the family. Is this his sister?
Lauren.
Y'all, they look alike. Like Nick looks like his mom. Annie looks like his mom. And his dad and his brother look alike. When Nick's mom asked Annie, why did you fall for Nick? Well, they both cook. They both have brothers. They both love.
They both want
we like
kids.
The outside. She didn't say we both like kids was one of the reasons. Now, the mom asks if they want to have kids, and she says yes, and they both jump on the I need babies to hold train. Like, go work at a nursery, parents. These people just met. Let them settle in. Ali and Anton lead us into the singles coming to meet the couples. Ali says she's nervous. Anton says he thinks there will be a lot of flirting between the singles, just to make that clear. And then Ali said something that got your attention.
She said, "You can." So they were talking about him flirting, and she's like, "You can flirt if you want to. I'm not your mom." I was like, "Oh, okay."
So the singles mingle is going to be at this honky-tonk bar. And they all come in wearing,
oh gosh, probably
fits to match.
Who's I have to say Annie and Nick's was the most appropriate for where they were at.
See, my two favorites, I was tossed up between Eddie and KB and Sparkle Megan and Jordan. Sparkle Megan had her
I just got like a fleeting
bandana
glance
on,
of them.
and then Jordan was like
more of Annie
black,
and Nick,
kind of gave like a
KB and Edmund
vibe.
when they came in. Cowboy hat.
Well, Edmund had on the plaid red shirt and jeans, and I loved KB's outfit. It was like a belly. It was cropped shirt. Very cute. More like a modern country, I guess. The girls are talking. Megan has met Skylar, Luca's mom. She's going to be meeting Luca on Friday.
Yeah, she said that she was chill, very cute, and it felt like family, which I thought was a great
Well,
thing
she
to
stopped
say.
herself, but that's what she meant to say.
Yeah, the other
Don't
girls
stop
kind of
yourself.
gave her a hard time about it, but I think that's awesome. I think
was.
that's exactly what you want when you have a child involved and there's going to be step parents and things like
Yeah.
that. Yeah,
Good
absolutely.
co-parenting relationship. I'm worried about Ali and Anton.
Me too.
She is turned off by his party lifestyle.
Mm-hmm.
She has expectations for like his past, which is he was single. He was going to a strip club. She doesn't like that he did it when he was single. That's before you ever entered the picture.
Yeah.
I think
she's using it as a reflection of his character, not
Mhm.
so much that he did it while he was single, but for her, it's a trait that she doesn't really like, maybe.
but he was doing it when he was a young single guy.
True.
What if he watched porn?
Yeah, good point.
What if he dated other people? I mean, this is his past. This is his life before you. Part of it. Now, part of it is also her current situation, which is that he
Mhm.
drinks every day after work, which is at 8 a.m. That could be concerning, though. I don't think because it's the morning, but because it's daily, he's doing it by himself.
Well, that was the first thing. The 8 a.m. doesn't mean much to me because he works nights. So that's the same as, coming in from work at like 5 or 6 in the evening. And some people do. They will sit down and have a couple beers to unwind when they get home from work. I didn't get the impression that he's like drinking until he's drunk. She said, he has a couple of beers, but it's still
It's not
not
a social thing. It's a thing to calm down, though. He's using it to change his mindset.
Well, I mean, we all know people who self-medicate for whatever reason.
And that's what could be concerning.
Yeah. I think the biggest thing for her was she kind of hit the nail on the head. She said, it's just completely different lifestyles. Like she has one way of living her life, which is, very healthy foods, not eating out, but working out. And, so far we're seeing he's okay with frozen pizzas and a couple of beers every morning.
But why does that make a difference in the marriage?
Well, it could make a difference if you're not on the same page.
I mean, I don't eat the same kind of stuff that
I
Rob
don't either.
does.
Like I know,
Like when Rob eats a salad, he puts no salad dressing on
right.
it.
But for her, it seems to be a big deal to her. Some people, I'm perfectly okay. Go watch TV in the other room if you don't like the same type of shows that I like, or if you want me to make you some soup and beans, I'll make you soup and beans.
Like a big ask. I mean, look, you've got to have non-negotiables, but the person eating the same as you,
yeah.
has she met Mike?
Well, we'll see.
We'll see.
They would fit together perfect.
Patrick walks in and spills the tea on what's happening with him and Kacie because she's not showing up to this.
My gosh, it was worse than I thought. She won't respond to him at all. Apparently, this happened only like 2 hours after the reveal. I thought there was like a day or something that had gone by.
A couple of hours after the reveal.
Oh my
They
gosh.
get back. She's saying, I don't want to do the show anymore. Patrick's like, well, we're not doing the show. When can I see you? Can we talk on the phone? She won't. And she told him, you can just tell them we're broken up and we've got to talk. He asked for the ring back. And she said, I have feelings too. It's not just you. This girl's a lot to process. I have a feeling that this on and off again relationship of 10 years was very unhealthy.
Mm-hmm.
And she probably went back and started talking to this dude.
Well, I think that she was on this show because of the ex. She had said he had wanted her to do reality show before and she didn't do it.
She was on it for the fame.
Yeah. I think that he talked her into doing the show. I don't think she has feelings for Patrick at all. I really don't. I think that she just did it. And when she got picked, that it freaked her out. It could have,
she tried to get picked. He was on the fence and she sat there and sexualized it and drew him in with her sexy talk, which he felt uncomfortable with. And she just steamrolled his butt on it. And then when she was talking about leaving, she did this whole like sexual thing again. I think she has not been able to let go of this guy. She probably has some sort of trauma bond to him, and she is trying to move on. That's why it's been on and off for a decade. And she goes on this show after they break up. He told her in the past to do a show, but she was probably like, fine, he can get what he's asking for. And she probably did have real feelings for Patrick, but she didn't want to tell him that she was engaged. She didn't want to tell the other guy anything because that door is still open. She has never closed that door. She's trying to break away from this dude, I think, but she's like, oh my gosh, if I leave here and there's a fiance and he's not going to be okay with this and I might lose out on him for good.
And that's a
'Cause
good
she hasn't given
possibility.
up.
Yeah, that's a good possibility.
On and
but-
off is not healthy. On and off for a decade, there's
Oh,
something wrong.
Yeah, for sure. For sure. But I mean, ghosting Patrick isn't, it's not cool.
You've seen people who keep going back.
Yeah, I know.
And I've seen people who screw other people over when they go back
Mm-hmm. True.
because there's this desperation. It's strange. And in walks the drama.
Finally. Yes.
Kait doesn't really even say anything to Nick. She just walks up with Madison and says hi and gives him a hug. Mike walks in and Jordan walks up to Megan and says, oh, look, my friend Mike's here. Then Mike walks up and gives her a hug and she tells Jordan this is awkward. He's like, yeah, it is.
Mm-hmm.
Here we are. And love is blind awkwardness. So he acknowledges her feelings on that. And Megan says that, of course, there's some chemistry between her and Mike, but she is happy she chose Jordan. Brennan walks in and goes up to talk to Annie. What do you think?
I don't know what she expected, honestly. She thought that I suppose because she was telling everybody, you know, he was telling me in the pod that I was a priority and that I was his number one from day one. And, you know, he just didn't fight for me. And
that's not the energy I'm getting tonight, which, okay, Annie, you are engaged and you dumped him. What energy do you expect? That he's hanging on to you for dear life, that he is not going to like try to move on with his life, that he's going to completely disrespect your decision.
I think that's what she was hoping for. That's what it sounds like.
This girl's wild. This girl is wild.
She is off. And, you know, he's so cute. And I thought he was actually very smart with how he was handling things in the pod.
I agree. She is perfect for Nick.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe not even. Look, her needing validation and dropping her number one because another guy said, I love you. Like the day that he said, I love you, dropping this guy, it doesn't stop there.
Well,
it doesn't stop when she chooses Nick. And we're seeing that now because not even Nick's giving her enough validation. Validate yourself, honey. Like, have some self-confidence to know that you are a catch, you are worth getting, and stop doubting yourself and pushing it on these guys that they're the problem.
Yeah. Well, apparently she expected him to fight for her and he's not doing that. So she's glad that she picked Nick. It's ridiculous. Doesn't make any sense.
She decides to go nuclear and Nick again.
Well, yeah. But she was trash talking Brendan, I thought. I was like, why are you doing that?
Because she doesn't feel good about herself. She feels like this guy rejected her because she wasn't getting this.
Yeah. She was kind of mean. It was mean girl. Distracting.
Dee's butt is distracting her. And I told her to just go off because I know you want to go off on Megan and Mike. Go ahead. Go off.
I mean, he pulls her aside away from Jordan. He's got to make sure she's not changed her mind since she's now seen him.
Criticizes the ring. Says he's sorry for making her cry, but then goes back into his, oh, I would have picked a better one out for you. And she's like, this one's perfect.
Asshole. Total dick. Thought about sliding into your DMs, and she's like, no.
Thank you for not doing that. She is not regretting Jordan.
No.
She's telling him, my friends and family say that he's marriage material. This is the guy you marry.
Yeah, but he was like, so I'm not marriage material, and she's like, no, not at all. And I'm like, yeah, that's exactly what she's saying. She's saying if she's out of town, she's saying if she's out of town for a week and has to be in LA, she can't trust that you would be faithful. Bam.
He just keeps questioning. He's like, are y'all getting married? Yep, we sure are. Yes, we are.
Yeah.
He's trying to poke holes in it. She's not having the hole poking.
I think his egotistical ass walked in there thinking that once she saw him, that she would change her mind.
She is.
She's doubling
On
down.
course.
Yeah, she is doubling down on Jordan. Sparkles and tats.
I love it. I am Team Patrick when it comes to this whole Anna Patrick conversation.
Yes.
Anna left.
Yeah.
He hesitantly moved on and got engaged. They were there to meet somebody and get engaged. He had 2 people. He tells her that Kacie was a distant second to her being number 1. And she's not listening to him. She's like, no, if you got engaged to somebody else, then I wasn't the one for you.
What's he supposed to do if she's not there?
Which is what he says. And she goes, it doesn't matter. I had a number 2 and I didn't tell him I loved him. Yeah, because you had both of them in front of you. You took yourself out of the game. What's he supposed to do? Be single and celibate for the rest of his life because you left?
Very, very weird. I was really hoping that she'd like forget all of that and just be like, let's just start fresh from here. Let's go on some dates. Let's see how it goes.
Patrick, this one's not right for you either.
No, she's not.
She's not.
She blew it.
She ghosted.
Mm-hmm.
Couldn't even say goodbye to you. Didn't even have that respect. There's somebody out there for you. Everybody I talk to says Patrick's super hot. This man is going to have pussy on call after this show. I'm not worried about him, except if I think he's getting with Kacie or Anna at this point, to be honest.
Yeah, then you got something to say.
Biggest concern. Edmund and KB. I don't know if we blame this on the alcohol or the editing, but they get into it over Edmund saying to Nick, it must be nice for your girl to tell you that you're perfect. And then KB coming over and getting upset with Edmund for saying that. And then Edmund saying, when is the last time you said something nice? And then her saying, oh, it was last night. It sounds like they're having some off-camera fights about her validating him.
I can see that. I can see where he wants a lot of validation. And I can also see that she probably would give him some, but probably not the amount that he wants.
Very much like Nick and Annie.
It seems to be a running theme with all of the couples. Like one of them is needing more validation. Not with Meg. I haven't seen it with Megan and Jordan, but one needs more validation than the other.
Anton and Allie?
No. Yeah. I don't see it with them, but I see it with Joe and Madison. I see it with Nick and Annie.
Well, who needs more validation with Joe and Madison? I guess Madison?
I think Madison does. I think that's what a lot of those fights are about. Yeah.
Nick talks to Kait and says that he didn't know how to talk to her about being in love with 2 different people. And she just lays it to him straight. You told me I was the only one. I was shocked when you got engaged. And he said, well, I had to make an excuse to bail on you. That was me because this other person was opening up to me more, Annie. And then Joe goes to ride the bull. Do you have anything to say about Joe and Kate's conversation?
Nick and Kait?
Nick and Kate's conversation.
No, she said 48 hours before that, you said, I love you. And he's like, I know. And then he tried to tell her that he didn't say that he wasn't in love with Annie. And she's like, you told me that I was the only one that you had said it to.
You
and
told
that
me you could not get there.
Yeah. I mean, she called him out. Bam, bam, bam. Everything he was saying, every excuse, she was like, she brought the receipts.
So Netflix will have the receipts.
That's
Pull
true.
those off the cutting room floor. So Nick gets on the bull and Annie is talking to Allie and she says, yeah, like Nick had feelings for both of us, but his feelings were stronger for me. So he cut it off and didn't let it go farther. And Allie says, well, that's the same story I heard from Kait. Basically, that Nick told her his feelings were stronger for her. Nick gets off the bull.
Oh, man. She is just ignoring him. He's trying to talk to her, and Annie is ignoring him like...
He's like a ghost.
Yeah, like he's not even there. And he's not even picking up on it. He doesn't even pick it up.
It's like he knows something is wrong, but he's not stirring that pot. He's like, I'm just going to
play
get back
dumb
on the bull.
Yeah, he's just going to play dumb.
Cut to Joe talking into
Joe.
the cameras.
Oh my God.
I was laughing so hard. He is wasted again. Him and Jordan, they are so funny. When the two of them start drinking and talking, they were saying that Brennan could really lay it down on Annie. He'd flip her over. He'd rub it down. Nick, it's just like missionary and go skiing. They were busting some chops and it was so funny.
But then he goes, but I like his hat.
But I like his hat. And then Joe, a few drinks in, he's like, look, maybe Nick's a nice dude. He's not my dude. I don't know. Not for me, but maybe. He's just trying to make sense of drunk babble, but totally dissing Nick the whole time.
He's so drunk.
And his other half, Madison, is talking to her friend Kait, and she tells her nobody likes Nick. A lot of people do not like Nick.
Yeah. She said he's fake.
They think he's calculated, which
Mhm.
it felt that way in the pod.
It did. It was such a swift change from Kait to Annie. So
Well,
I understand why
very
Kait.
calculated.
Yeah, I can understand why Kait is saying he's fake.
And then from the corner of the room, Joe is loud and talking about shots, and he hits that nuclear button. Madison is about to blow up on his ass. I think next episode.
I think he even said, this is what got me in trouble the last time.
Boys, don't take me down with you. Poor Joe. I just want to see him get fun and drunk. He's so funny.
He is.
Come on, Madison, lighten up. He's making fun of Nick. Give the guy a break. Ali and Anton. That was awkward. He says he's just pretending like everything's fine. What are you doing? She said she's telling the truth.
Wow.
Cold. This feels real cold.
It was.
Jordan and Megan feel so warm and comfortable together. Megan says, this is so awkward tonight. And he's like, yeah, it is. Like, he validates her feelings. And then Patrick comes over and says, if anybody's getting married, it's these two right here, which you said was ominous.
I'm like, oh no, that's ominous. It's always when statements like that are made, when you get to the very end, they're like the one that doesn't make it. And I was like, oh no, because I like them.
Madison is eyeballing Joe from the side of the bar, watching him drink. Who else?
Anton was drinking as well with Allie watching him.
Mm-hmm.
And then we had,
And Edmund totally is getting blown off by KB.
she's not
There's
talking.
a few ghosts in this room, and it's not from the single side. These ladies
No.
are ghosting their men.
Poor Edmund. He just looks lost. Like, the look on
Yeah.
his face was so, like, kind of broke my heart a little bit. But at the same time, I kind of understand why she's upset.
At what point in this show do these singles realize that alcohol is what is fueling these fights? There's always alcohol involved when they all start going out it.
It's every time.
Every
Joe
time.
in particular. But he's hilarious.
Joe is so funny. And Jordan, oh my, I love their little romance. Joe and Jordan, that's the couple that makes it. Spoiler. Well, that is it for this drop of Love is Blind. That is episode 9. Next week, we'll be back with episodes 10 and 11. And then the following week will be our episode 12 finale. Great season so far. What do you think, Channel Surfers? Which couples are going to make it? Let us know what you think. We'd love to hear your thoughts. Thanks for listening to Love is Blind. We will be back with you on Monday with Sister Wives, Tuesday with 90 Day the Other Way, and then Wednesday we get our Love is Blind fix. We'll see you then. Bye.
Let's ride.
Too